Hello, Edo. We warmly and heartily welcome you to this special broadcast as Nigeria marks her 61st independence anniversary. Rest assured, it will be a fascinating time well spent. Or should I leave you to be the judge of that? I am Msa Yakubu. Yes, Nigeria is 61, and it is adjudged to be the most populous nation in the entire African continent, with diverse cultures and different languages. As a nation, Nigeria has come a long way in spite of the many challenges that threaten our unity. How can we focus on the things that bind us together using Edo as a model? These are some of the issues we will be extraying in the course of this broadcast. We begin right now with our introductory feature on peace building in diverse culture. When we return, it will be time to welcome our guests and set our discussion rolling. Do stay with us.
Benin City, capital of Edo State, is ranked as the fourth largest city in Nigeria. The state has a population of over 4 million people and 18 local government areas with a multi-ethnic and multilingual structure. Edo State could be said to be a mini Nigeria with a multi-ethnic and culturally diverse society, yet it coexists freely without inter-ethnic or inter-religious crisis.
Edo is one very peaceful state. Edo is one state, where you have so many ethnic groups, coexisting. And for that reason, it's relatively peaceful. And I will give kudos to the Edos themselves because they are very, very accommodating. We are accommodating, and for that reason, give kudos to Edos.
Are descent from a common ancestry, have blood and cultural ties that tend to restrain or constrain going for broke when you have conflict. So I think we can actually be referred to the rightful way as truly ethnic.
We have people from all kinds of faith, all religion, all ethnicity, we live harmoniously. We learn that we have learned that our diversity is our strength.
The state is predominantly inhabited by the Benin, Esan, Onwa, and Afamai people, while the Shekiri and Ijaw-speaking people are found in the riverine areas of the state. How can the cordiality among the different tribes in Edo State be sustained and abducted by the Nigerian state?
We have lost so much ground in terms of our value orientation, and sadly, except we reorder that part, we may not go too far.
Our values of truth, of integrity, of the dignity of labor, of striving for excellence, must be kept at the front burner as a people.
Those values are already time tested and they are serving us well, really, especially at the level of customs and wholesome traditions.
As Nigeria celebrates 61 years of independence, it is hoped that the Edo State model of coexisting in a multi-ethnic and culturally diverse society is adopted by all Nigerians.
Thank you indeed for staying with us. Please let's welcome one of our guests, Reverend Dr. Alade Shelu, a celebrated role model, social entrepreneur, among other high-profile portfolios. Thank you for choosing to be here, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're very much welcome. And of course, not leaving out a friend, a great friend of ours, Mr. Austin, who is a public analyst, among other very high titles, and let me say he's an involver with humanity. You love humanity, and thank you very much. Happy Independence to all of us. Happy Independence.
Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day.
How is the celebration going at your end?
Very sweet.
That's what I hope for.
I have reminiscence for the day we celebrated the 1st October 1. I was barely 9 years old. I was in primary 3 at the St. Peter's Anglican School, Urunigo, in Edo State. And I remember too well, especially the taste of the rice. It was burnt, I didn't know, but it had a special taste. And the stew was not like the one at home.
I can relate to the burnt jollof rice. You know, we all want that and pray for it even at home. Well, let's go to business. You know, as Nigeria marks her Independence Day, is peace building. How do we build peace at a time like this?
Well, first of all, we need to understand what peace is. Like some persons have said, peace is just the absence of war, violence. But some others have actually stretched it to say, peace is not just the absence of violence or war, but where there are internal, socio-economic conflicts, inadequate basis, there is no equity, no fairness, no justice, then there cannot be peace. So you need all of this actually, the total of this to achieve, peace in the real sense of the word. So like you have asked, at least, thank God, at least Nigeria is one today. When I mean one, at least in spite of all the security challenges, in spite of all the social, and economic, troubles we are going through, at least we have remained as one indivisible and indissoluble entity country. Nigeria is still Nigeria. At least I think this will confound all the pessimists who have imagined that before today there will be nothing like Nigeria. But here we are today, we are celebrating. I think to me, that one alone, that God has kept us together because of because we are resolute to say, irrespective of our cultural, religious, and political and ethnic differences, at least we still want to be one. Because our coming together through the amalgamation in 1914 by the then Lord Lugard was not just, to me, an accident. I think it was divine. I think the only thing is, human factors, and all the rest have made it almost impossible to unite like our founding fathers, you understand? The ideals and ideas, what they actually, planned, for the country. But I think with all we have gone through so far, it's a learning process. Those some persons who want to challenge to say, how will it take you, a whole of 61 years to learn? That at 60, for example, like in the public service, if you are 60, you are expected to retire, and be inducted into the Hall of Fame of, the senior citizen of this country. And that if you are a senior citizen, and there's supposed to be accolades. But here is a country, Nigeria, that is 61, and yet is not qualified to be called, a citizen, a senior citizen.
You hold our line of thought for now. Let's move to the doctor. Doctor, we're looking at the relevance of peace building in a time like this. He has shared his opinion, and what is your take?
We want to thank God for where we are. We can't wish that away, because in such a time, such as we are in, we only hope that we should build peace, because there is very little that speaks to peace around us. But it's something we must hope for. It's something we must look up to. It's something we must plan. It's something we must structure around so that there will be peace. It's not easy to find a multiplicity of nations in one nation, and you think it will just be, all fair weather on every day. No. Even the local adage has it that the tongue and the teeth, even as close as they are and as cooperative as they are within the mouth system, there are times we have a bite. They do have a bite on the tongue. In family circles, you find, sometimes you say polygamy is a problem. There are still some crises in families that are just same mother, same father, between siblings. See how people go to the court and hear court cases of people who are striving in the home. And you want to also look around. Now that in Benin City, Edo State is a microcosm of the entire nation. Whatever it is you want to describe about Nigeria, you can just reel out all that you know about Edo State, and you have Nigeria playing out there.
It's just like talking about challenges even in the UK. Right now there's shortage of fuel, there's fuel scarcity, like it used to be in Nigeria, and somebody was laughing about it and so it's not only in Nigeria that we have, such issues, even in the UK now. Yes. People are queuing up to buy fuel.
Yes.
But again, you mentioned something very salient. You said Edo is a role model.
Yes.
As a yardstick when you want to compare to what is happening in other countries. We're going to talk about the Edo story, okay? But before that, let's take a break and feel the pulse of the public on the state of affairs and what they feel should be the right thing to do.
Nigeria 61 is a good news to say. It's a good news to say, and I see this country as a great country. Nigeria is a better country, and I believe that in a few years' time from now, the country is going to be more better than the way it is now. And one thing is certain in this country, that we must know that everybody must come together in unity.
We have fairly done well. It's just that, there's still much to do. There's still a lot to do. If our leaders can just put their acts together, we'll get to our promised land. Our promised land still seems to be very far, but if we make conscious effort, we'll be there soon. We are not doing badly.
You will agree with me that there's nothing much to show for Nigeria, despite the abundant human and material resources which God has bestowed in this country, geographical entity called Nigeria. There's nothing much to celebrate about, nothing to show for it.
Quite a handful of opinions, I would say, given that. Just before we continue our conversation, more fees on peace building, unity in diversity.
Our strength is in our diversity. Let's live together now. Let's live together. Let's live.
Mr. Odile and not the Odile in Delta. What is that thing that binds Edo together? Edo is a homogeneous society, religion, different cultures, and yes, somehow since inception, Edo has managed to keep it intact. As an Edo person, what do you think is responsible for the magic?
I think I completely agree with the submission of my mommy here that Edo is homogeneous. Edo State is a microcosm of Nigeria because of the numerous ethnic groups we have in the state. If you stretch it further, I'm an Akoko Edo man, for example. You know, in Akoko Edo, even if they say we have Edo descent, that's Benin descent, but you discover that over time, the evolution of language and culture, and you discover that from one community to the other, you may not even understand what the others, the other community speaks. But then, like you said, over time at least, I think one thing that kept us there and Edo State going is one belief that at least the old age, tradition of we being a community. Number one, that we're a community, we're a people bound together, by faith, by love that, we're created, by God, not to be individual, but to watch out, to look out for one another. I think that has been a major binding factor.
But isn't that the case with other states in Nigeria, for instance? There's a school of thought that always say that maybe we need to trust each other more. Do you agree to that?
I quite agree. And actually, it is that trust that has kept both Nigeria and the Edo State people to live in peace. Now, when you look at Edo State is a nodal state. Benin City in particular is a nodal town. What I mean by that in geography is it's a place through which people connect from the east, from the north, from the west, and from the south. And therefore, this brings in different types of people. And the Edo people are hospitable. You can find that, you can go to some states, for instance now, a stranger is not allowed to buy land, let alone build a house. But in Edo State, or any tribe at all, you find the Hausas, the Igbos, they all have houses in Benin City and some other parts of the town.
Okay, we're looking at the larger picture, aren't we? Nigeria. The anniversary celebration, we are 61. And there's a school of thought that also feels that maybe dwindling values may be responsible for, strife, so to speak. Should that be the picture?
We have bemoaned this situation. It's not long enough. We should continue to bemoan it because the decline in the moral, platitude of each and every one of us is such that you want to imagine whether are we still here? Is this happening here? A situation whereby people no longer have value for honesty, don't have value for life. We can't imagine what some people do to even relatives. You just wake up and take a knife and kill you hear people how they kill their own children. I mean, that's bizarre. But you find people just do it. We talk about money rituals and all those things. You hear about people no longer having value for what really should last.
How can we use our values? How can we resurrect, so to speak, our values to stop disaffection among Nigerians in the long run?
You see, any society that has very serious deficits in morals and morality, definitely, that society will not go anywhere. And that is our greatest challenge. Over the years, I think we have lost those values we cherished. Hard work, respect for elders, discipline, tolerance. When you mean tolerance, I tolerate your religion, your opinions, I respect your opinions and what you stand for. I hold you, you are sacred, you are a human being, I treat you as such. And then we're content with whatever we had. You understand? But now we imbibe and internalize those virtues, those values that that our parents inculcated in us. because they had the time for us. And they say, look, the first education a child gets in life is in the home. So how is the home? Because the home is a microcosm of the entire society. If the family fails, then the society is in trouble. And that to me, that is jamming. That is what we need to go back to look. So, and now, coming to the modern world, what we crave for now is modernity. You know, we have imbibed, internalized Western values and culture to our own detriment. Of course, the coming of the internet, you understand, like we come in, you know, technology, you understand, yes, ICT has worsened matters. Because what most of the things, our conduct, our utterances, you understand, are all tailored towards, you know, the Western world. It's like we have become over-Westernized by the Westerners, you know, by the Western world itself. So to me, that is not so. And you go back, what is our curriculum, our educational curriculum, starting from the basics, for example? What are those things that are there? And no conscious efforts have been made, you know, recently to say, okay, to reintroduce the teaching of civics, security studies, you know, to reintroduce, you know, religion, you know, in the assembly.
Okay, Mr. Adele, permit me to ask you to pause in that line of thought. I'm sure this is a celebration of the independence. I'm sure there will be other days where we'll talk about Nigeria at large. But before we go, just in 20 seconds, ma'am, what is your dream of Nigeria?
I have a dream that Nigeria will become the choice destination for tourists, for business people, and for the best values of the world in the future. And that is by the year 2025.
Great dream. Is that a dream?
Well, my dream is not different from her. That's one. I just hope God designed Nigeria for greatness. That we're having, you know, teething problems and challenges now will not stop, to me, Nigeria from being the Nigerian of our dreams. If it does not happen in our own time, at least our children definitely will grow, develop Nigeria to be, you know, not just the giant of Africa, but we overtake the Asian tigers and become a force to be reckoned with in the world.
Thank you very much indeed for your time with us on this special Independence broadcast. We truly appreciate your time. I do hope that you'll have a great day. Take the children out, relax. Matter not be finished. Thank you, ma'am, for being our guest as well.
Pleasure.
Yes, welcome. As we round off, remember we are only as strong as we are united and as weak as we are divided. We'll leave you with this special music to catch fun as we round off. Do ensure you have a blessed day and enjoy the 61st Independence Anniversary of Nigeria. And please stay safe and stay out of trouble.